I don't have my audio. Anywho, so the ShiftCam comes with tiny little round little bumpers that can go in. If right now you're running it without any audio, and it's still going to be an issue if I try to hook the audio up, because then it's still going to be sitting on a volume key. You have to have volume key enabled for shutter in order to use Bluetooth remote. So there's a little bit of a drawback there. So right now we're on native. I kind of want to try the native because just to see how native audio, see how it does. But I think Puppies and I are gonna go to the park. I think if I take that bumper out and put the roads in, it's going to continue to be a problem. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at this. I'm trying to think of other ways to do this to give a gap between the shutter button or the volume keys and the ShiftCam side, but yet still hold it securely. Alrighty, everybody, we are at our favorite stomping grounds, which we haven't been to in a little while, but boy, oh boy, this smoke is really rolled in today. So, alright, we are now rocking a genuine Google Pixel 7 Pro case. Went to 3 different stores and finally found one at Verizon. It's the wrong color for the phone, but it's actually the one I wanted, the hazel case, but it works. It's fine. It's more of a gray. I don't really understand the hazel unless it's the accents. Unfortunately, my little bumpers did not work out for me, especially once I put the case on it. That ended that really fast. All right, get a rock around here. We are now in HDR. The video should be a little smoky because it is seriously very smoky, even getting down. We definitely, I think it's 193 microns is what the pollution level is. It's bad. You can tell. I mean, look at this mountain. So, oh, that's what I thought she had to do. Well, actually, I thought that's what he had to do. All right. Oh, now he's going. Yay! I just can't get away from this. Okay, so I'm not super stoked on the simple fact that I have to continuously reset back to video and turn my microphones back on. That is a huge downside to this whole system. I don't think if you select that it works it. It still records audio, but it's internal. And like I said, I did try a couple clips and I probably will unplug at some point. It's not windy right now, so I forgot something at the car. I gotta run back. And then we're just gonna take the normal, I don't know, the other lap, because we already got some time in. But import wise, okay, so the images don't actually show the video like a clip. It just shows like I'll have to show you. It's kind of like a blank image, but it shows up, it imports, and all of my settings work that I use for the iPhone. Plus. Okay, sometimes I hear the sound, sometimes I'm not hearing the sound. That's another little frustration, but nonetheless. So I'm gonna look into quick launch menus and see if there isn't a way to make it go to video instead of photo. I'm kind of hoping there is, because that would be super convenient. The other thing I'd say is don't ever not get a case to this thing. This thing is so slippery, it will not stay on any surface at all. It fell on like about 6 times sitting on my desk, sitting on a cabinet. It just all of a sudden just slides off. No warning whatsoever. All of a sudden it's just going. So it is beyond slippery. And trying to hold it and use it, whew. Can't wait to see what it feels like in this case. I just literally slapped the case on, threw it in the ShiftCam. Honestly, it matches this thing. Super nice. Let me grab the iPhone. Kind of trying to do this in one take. I don't know why, but you know, because I'm silly. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. The volume keys. If I push it back any further, it starts playing with the volume, which is also the shutter record button when you're in the camera. So I have it sticking out quite a ways. I'm trying to show you here. Yeah, it's It works, don't get me wrong. It does work. Alright, so we are filming with HDR 4K 30. I don't know if I can go to 60 in HDR. I can check. It's not something that's super any more important for me. It's only those rare occurrences, and there's usually no time to ever change it. But this smoke, you can kind of see how out here, more out that way, how low it is. So you're breathing it. This is probably not good for our health, but we need a walk. And we haven't been over here again in a hot minute. It's pretty over here, like I said, it gets kind of monotonous after a while coming, but we're going the opposite direction today, so that'll change things. I was saying though, all of my attributes for the iPhone worked with this, including the final clip last night when I said goodnight and finally had turned on HDR. This thing was several updates behind yet, so it is fully updated on Android 13 now. I don't know where it was prior to that, but I know the camera said it had an update when we got to the park. I think that's why I didn't have my HDR setting, or I missed it. I mean, I was trying to literally, I pulled it out of the box, turned it on, threw it in everything, and just started running with it. And I think this smoke video quality was showing accurate. Plain. All right, let's play with our zoom. Oh, where'd he go? I can't see the screen. There's sun's in my eyes. I don't even know if I have him. Probably don't. He's probably like way down here. Nice thing too is polarized lenses do not affect the screen. It's got some things going for it, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here's another crazy little thing. I mentioned yesterday quickly that I'd have to force the DJI Mimo app on and the Insta360 Flow app on. Unless something has changed and the Android store has now unlocked it, Google Pixel allows you to install both of those apps through the App Store. I will have to check the Samsung and see if it is now available, but both of those apps showed up. In fact, the one was recommended, the DJI app was recommended. So at some point, I do want to try the gimbals with it. I mean, here's my thing. Okay. So I want to do a nice little pan shot. I can do that, and I can keep it where I want it. I can point it where I want it. The gimbals kind of go their own little, sometimes they go out into a direction that you don't want to go. Granted, they follow me modes and all that good stuff, but I've done this long enough. I know how to follow. Right, Priya? Do I know how to follow you? I'm not sure about bokeh on this thing now. I know there's a cinematic mode that adds it, and you can adjust it, but I don't think you have any of your lenses, so just use the stock. Like, I've watched a whole ton of videos last night. The only thing I have not found is how to lock the camera settings to last used. But it seems like if you don't close the app, you are good. It comes back to where you left off. But if you close the app, it's going to go back to photo. I thought you could add another face, but it doesn't seem like you can to unlock. But it did have a security update, so I finished that off. I'll look at it deeper. I know you can add more than one fingerprint. I thought you could actually add multiple faces, or, you know, if you wear glasses and stuff, because my sunglasses, and I did turn off eyes must be open. So we'll see if that helps me with my sunglasses unlocking it. Because it's kind of inconvenient. The quick launch is double tap of the lock button. Like I said, it defaults back to at least so far, it defaulted back to the photo camera and turns off microphones. That's going to be a problem. I mean, if I have to unlock it each time, whatever. It's just one little oversight, maybe. I mean, there is a quick launch, but I wish it would save my setting, or my main screen would be the video. Because if I want to take a picture, it's the rarity for me, so. All right, we are almost halfway around. Kind of made a really weird lap here, but nonetheless, run into another couple puppies. I didn't really get near those other two. There was a huge one and a little one, but there was a beautiful gray and white 6-year-old husky. Father was walking it for his daughter, and just a beautiful little girl. Nice and trim, looks pretty fit. So, looked like a wolf. The gray and white, she's a beautiful dog. Like I said, I love Huskies. Just the shedding would absolutely drive us nuts. We have enough problems with these terps. These twerps. You twerps? Yeah, you guys are twerps. Yeah, you are. Oh, more dogs coming. Yay. Yeah, it's beautiful out though. It was like 59 this morning. It was funny. I was watching the year one vlogs, the first couple, and I'm on my way to work in July. I forget what day it was. It was 53 degrees in the morning in July. I was wearing a jacket, which I still have that one. I'm like, I'll leave them alone. You need to be puppies alone. Big puppies. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. See, there's someone else like me that always avoids when I see other people as a courtesy. So, well, my audio chime seems to be working consistently now. That's good. It's a huge thing, especially when the camera's facing me and I can't see. I wanted to get a little shot of this tree because it has some unique leaves on it. You can see it from a far distance. But yeah, I just tried the quick launch and definitely goes back to normal camera. We'll look at it. If anybody has any tips or tricks that may have one of these, Mr. Dixon, I did message him on, I think, Instagram. I was testing it today and yesterday. So, Mike watches my videos. So many mics in my life, I'm telling you. And all I talk about is microphones. Kind of ironic, huh? Someday we might take that path again, but it looks like it's really gotten overgrown. I wonder if they got rid of that one little stump that trips the shit out of you. Oh, beautiful day, with the exception of the smoke. Ladies and gentlemen, the Goodyear blimp is here. That's interesting. You don't see that every day in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Figured I'd stay. Little League's not for another month. You can barely see the damn thing in the smoke. Huge. That thing's huge too. That thing just doesn't do justice on 5X even. So, I don't know. I thought the clarity yesterday on the... hold on. Considering how far out I zoomed on that water tower, and if it had not been smoky, I think this thing would do a lot better. I mean, just like there, that was just standard 5X, so that was fully optical. The only thing I'm really having a struggle with, they do show up. The raw files do show up in photos. They're not blacked out. I did have some weird things with Final Cut. I had like little baby images. I don't know what that was all about, but I imported them directly into the thing and then they seemed to work. But the raw files are extremely dark. So I'm gonna have to probably learn how to use my tools to color grade them. For right now, I'll just probably be posting JPEG files until I kind of can get a grasp on what I need to do with them. But they do come into the MacBook, unlike Samsung. So this thing has things going for it. It connects to the computer and imports the files. I can send the files via my PhotoSync app. I did that this morning. Quickly too, might I add. My color balance and everything with the iPhone, oh, this is going to be interesting. This is what I'm talking about, going from light to dark. But it seemed to work yesterday pretty good. And there's another instance which I have struggles with other cameras. Light to dark seems to be an issue. That seems to work. Oh yeah, so there's definitely working better than other Android devices and big... All right, well, it slid on me. Well, Panoramic has a neat little thing, so the further you go, it'll show you how it's making the photo get shrink down. So if you want to keep the photos fairly large, it'll kind of give you that, okay, from here to here you get a full photo, and then it starts shrinking it as it makes it longer. Pretty cool. Okay, switching modes turns audio off as well. We'll see how loud that last clip was, because that was camera mics. I mean, if it doesn't need them, it doesn't need them. I do have the audio thing on for voice. I have the voice enhance on. Some of the people that went through the settings said unless you really need it, turn it off, because it kind of messes it up a little bit. So we'll see. See how that goes. I'm sure it's going to happen more than one time. It definitely gets quite a bit louder because I don't have gain controls like I do with the Rode, which I currently have still at -6. So, which seems to be better than the -12 I was running, because that's what I used to be on all the time. But when I do the fireworks here later this week, the gain will be all the way down. The microphones will probably be facing backwards, and it will probably still be peaking. That's how close and how loud it will be. But yeah, check with Mike too on Sunday and see if he's still coming out Tuesday for fireworks. Hopefully the weather's nice and we can get a good shot. Although this smoke could really, this gives you a really good idea. I mean, that is just insane. You've seen these mountains enough times to know it's just an outline. I think it's getting worse since we got here, especially out this way here. It's disappearing. Okay, first test with unlocking it with eyes off. Yes, it now unlocks with my sunglasses. Yay! All right, kids, what do you say we go home? You guys did your business. You guys got a good walk. Your tongues are hanging out because it has gotten humid and hot out here. I'm going to have to learn how to screenshot with this thing, but so well, when you're not recording, it shows you all the things that you have turned on, including when you're plugged in mic. So it does at least let you know that it's not on if there's only 2 things activated on the top left of the screen. So this is my dream. Never going to happen in my life, but would be to have something similar to this. It's a Winnebago. I'd rather dual axle, but just travel the whole country in something like that and have a nice adventurous life. Someday maybe, probably not. Well, I think I might have created a new run and gun setup. Something to travel with a little easier. So the shutter button is off of this guy here. Oh my god, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Off the Polar Pro. So I pulled the shutter button off this guy because this doesn't work without that particular case. It won't lock in, but the Joby does, and I actually flipped it upside down, used the 1/4-20, got my shutter button, which powers on and off with a switch, which is nice. Little red it's off, and it does work pretty decent. New battery in it, so it works nice. I have a cold shoe mount now at the bottom for the Rode. Gonna work on the wire management here, but so far it seems like it's pretty decent to handle. I mean, the shutter button's kind of not really where you want it, but it's not horrible. And this is universal for any device. So just using one of the Joby phone holders, pushed it to the end with that, because this is why I'm talking, when the iPhone goes to USB-C, you'll be able to use the cable in this direction, so you kind of get that 90-degree angle to wrap it. I'm trying the bottom right now. I can add another cold shoe at the top, which I may do just so I have it, but right now I think I'm just going to leave it like this for today. We're going to go out to Wellsboro, leave the dogs home because it is just going to be too hot for them to sit in the car. And just like the iPhone, Android does charge the receiver when you're plugged in, so it does drain your phone battery. Something to keep in mind. And once I get the MagSafe case, I should be able to actually fit the battery on the back here too. So yeah, so far so good. Yeah, back to Goodwill in Wellsboro. A little smoky here too. It's like everywhere. It was funny, first time we came up, it used to be up on the hill there. Now they moved down here. It's the antique aisle, VHS. Is that a VHS rewinder? Oh my god, I haven't seen one of them in forever. iHome, is that a 30 pin? Anybody remember iPhone 30 pin? There you go. What do we got there? 6-inch shredder. Too bad we can't use one of them at work. My hair clippers. Yeah, this is the antique aisle here. I love the antique aisle. It's always fun to, oh my god. That is a vintage clock. We used to have one like that, I know we did. Alrighty, first test. Actual official test with the Joby guy. And I do have it set up now for the handle, which just fell on the ground. That's awesome, thank you. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on. Come on, puppy. And first kind of official night test with this thing. That looks pretty good. Yeah, sky looks pretty decent. Alrighty. Oh, what a day. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so if you put it on vibrate, you don't get your camera sound. Interesting. Wow, is this light. Holy buckets. So much less weight than the ShiftCam. But we'll see how it works. I mean, I got things wrapped up pretty good. I managed to find a piece. It's not my ideal situation because I can't tighten the cold shoe down. I don't even know where I got it from. I think it might have come... I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Come on, Mateo, we're going to take a long lap. You guys haven't been out in a while. But it's just an itty bitty little dual-sided female 20 quarter 20 cold shoe. And it slides in pretty tight. I might put some double-sided tape on the bottom of it just to kind of give it that little extra oomph, because it's holding the microphone or the microphone receiver and the trigger. So it's got some things on it. But it's working. It's working so far. The thing about this Joby is it actually has a lock mechanism on it. And it's rubberized. I can move it around a little bit. If I want to put it in the car, I can center it a little bit better. It should hold the microphones. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah, so we made a trip out to Willsboro. I did show you a little bit in the thrift store, the antiques. I did find one Under Armour t-shirt and a pair of Columbia pants and a pair of either Wrangler or I think they were Wrangler jeans. They're tan though. Thought something a little bit lighter, so I don't always have to wear blue jeans at work. 9 o'clock at night and everybody's coming home all of a sudden. Gee whiz. But it wasn't too bad a trip. We actually took the scenic route out. We went out 287 and into Willsboro, and then when we came back, we actually went through Saladiesburg. I was going to time-lapse it. Unfortunately, the mount is shot. Hold on a second. We haven't done any of these tests yet. That's not too shabby from a cell phone. Those leaves are goofing me up. That's not too bad though. Let me get to a little better area without any leaves in my way. I will try that again because that actually looked pretty damn impressive, at least on screen for 20x. When I get into the editor, it might look a little bit worse. Usually does. It, you know, pixelizes more once you get it on the big screen. So yeah, and as I said earlier, Mr. Michael Dixon, he commented on the video. He's like, it looks good. It held its own, which holding its own, that's an understatement, sir. In my opinion, I think it is on par. And now that HDR is running, yeah, I don't think this is going to be a test and give back. I think we're going to keep it. Let's do this moon again. All right. Jump out to 5x. Ooh. There's a little jumpy there. Considering I am full 20x and it's holding still, that is insane. And it is getting quite a bit of detail. Yeah, Mike, I know it's not your Nikon P1000, but this is a damn cell phone. Alright, iPhone, actually get it a 9x. There's an iPhone video. By the moon. And of course the Samsung has died. I was playing my game and it just shut off. I wanted to do I forgot that it died. I know this has backward charging, but I'm not going to take the time to try to do it. I really kind of wanted to get an idea of what the Samsung looks like versus the Pixel. So I think I'm going to have to throw it on the charger, get something, and maybe come back and do shots, bang, bang, bang. I'm impressed. I really am. You know, I kind of wonder what kind of photo it gets. I'm gonna say photo-wise, very unimpressive. Not good at all. It goes out to 30x, but it just, the video looked a lot better, considering that's 4 times the optical zoom. Yeah, not good at all. So, at some point I'll have to try the Samsung again, if I can even get the footage to import. Maybe I can send it to the Google or something. I don't know, we'll figure it out, but that's crazy. Get this little walk done. Now that Priya's, you know, not trying to pull me the opposite direction Mateo's going. That's kind of what happened a little bit ago. I'm curious. I mean, on screen, everything looks accurate. Their colors. So, grass, yes. Concrete. Maybe a little on the salmon side, kind of pinkish, versus the gray. I don't know. Could be the lighting too. Harness, a little more vibrant maybe. No, that's about what it looks like to the eye. Still not digging the whole fact that every time I fire this thing back up, I have to put my microphones as connected back on. That's kind of annoying. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Just gotta remember to do it, because that'd be bad. I mean, so far the audio hasn't seemed too bad. The air conditioning was running upstairs this morning when I was playing it. You could kind of hear the cancellation. It sounded a little bit wonky, but could be worse. Yeah, the shutter button's a pain. I remember it being a problem before. It's kind of weird though. The battery like sits literally, because it's not in its normal handle, kind of exposed. But it's working sometimes. Unfortunately, we did miss the sunset tonight. But it's a cloudless night, still smoky. Probably didn't honestly miss a whole lot. But nonetheless, we got the moon. At least that's one thing. Meant to get the drone out again last night, and once again with the smoke I failed to do it, but it's kind of clearing up now. It's not near as bad as it was earlier. Sir, are you getting pictures of the moon? Oh, I'm sorry, this is the iPhone. Let me switch to the good one. Sir, are you getting good pictures of the moon tonight? It struggles a little bit holding it, especially if I get the freaking focus, the link off of it. That's the pixel, if you can get it to sit right there. Looks pretty damn good. That's at 20x on a 5x zoom optical. Alright, let's try this a little bit later at night here. There it goes. Alright, so there's the pixel. And that light just went out, which helps me. You know, the Samsung gets to start off 10x. I don't think 10x is even going to clear up. And it only goes to 20x. It's doing the same thing. The warping of it. But it sure the hell ain't bringing the moon in video.